Why are the lights out?
Well, this week we're talking about the Middle Ages, also known as the Dark Ages.
But that doesn't mean we need to be in the dark.
Oh, alright, I'll get the lights. Hi, I'm Paul.
And I'm Stephanie.
And this week we're bringing you the 5th installment of A History of Lotion.
A great change in Europe is happening. It's 600 AD, and the division of Rome over the recent introduction of Christianity has led to civil wars.
And the breakdown of many Roman customs and beliefs.
While the Romans were gone, many of their structures survived.
The bathhouses they built were seeing a whole second life. The wealthy in society were able to bathe daily, and even members of the lower class were able to bathe weekly.
And though the rise of Christianity strongly encouraged good hygiene, vanity was strongly discouraged.
Which meant that the lead-based powders and pastes of ages past were not a popular option, so it became essential to do as much with as little as possible.
For hundreds of years before, pale skin had been seen as a sign of prosperity and health, as it showed that hard outdoor labor was not a part of everyday life.
So modest herb remedies and potions became very important.
Many of these homemade recipes included wine or vinegar mixed with several herbs of creators' choosing.
Due to the chaos and violence of Rome's falling, the passing of information and records had all but ended when the empire itself fell. As time passed, the ingredients became increasingly refined, but the lack of variety meant that the mixture itself was of key importance.
However, the year 1000 marked the beginning of what is often known as the High Middle Ages.
The dawning of the High Middle Ages meant that Europe was splitting into smaller segments, individually run by feudal lords overseen by kings and queens.
And while ongoing Christian influence meant that blatant vanity was still frowned upon, the segmented state of affairs meant that some areas had slightly varied views on morality, and women were devising increasingly complex rituals to create paler skin.
Some of these included plucking their hairlines to create a larger forehead to flaunt their hard-earned complexion, and hard-earned it was. Plucking was just the tip of the iceberg. Some of the more radical efforts even went as far as bloodletting to create an even paler complexion.
Ouch! But soon, the new civilizations began retracing the steps of ancient Roman crusaders, and European knights began to travel to the Middle East.
In the year 1095, the first such crusade was sanctioned by Pope Blessed Urban II, in the hopes of turning Jerusalem to Christianity. While they failed in this regard, they did discover valuable trade routes.
This meant that they suddenly had access to new minerals and spices, many of which had medicinal properties.
History repeats itself, and sometimes that doesn't take so long to happen. You see, the irony of the Christian discoveries were that most of, not all of them, had already been discovered by the Romans, hundreds of years beforehand.
Among the rediscoveries were multiple lotions and oils, along with frankincense and myrrh,
Anise,
alum,
and walnut bark. Speaking of history repeating itself, you know, I noticed every week around this time, our video seems to end.
Yeah, it does.
So until next week, don't forget to visit us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and drop by our Etsy shop, where you can check out our latest scent, Fresh Rose Bouquet. And until next time, say no to common sense. Bye.
See you later.
Okay.